Back in Chicago, 49 degrees. Wind at 18 miles per hour. No surprise in late October. Here in Chicago, Ron Rivera making his return. Long-time member of the Bears, and he was Lovie Smith's first defensive coordinator from 2004 through 06. Bears at 5-1. They've won 4 straight and lead the NFC North. Bears won the toss, elected to defer, so Robbie Gould will get things started. Okay, aloha Polaris back deep for the Carolina Panthers, who have lost 4 in a row since their only win back in mid-September over the New Orleans Saints. Panthers will start from their own 20-yard line as Cam Newton leads the Carolina offense onto the field.
And you heard Tony at the top of the broadcast talk about a commitment to the run, and I hope what we see in the running game is more traditional run. You know, they've kind of grown with this option. They've thrown a lot of things. One of the things that offensive coordinator Rob Chudzinski talked to us about was kind of lessening the amount of volume of the playbook for Cam Newton.
That run sets that pass up for him with play action. Panthers start with 2 tight ends. Jonathan Stewart in the backfield. He takes the handoff from Newton and works his way up to the 23-yard line. Gain of 3 for Stewart. Panthers ranked 24th offensively.
And it's been a challenge for him with the guys up front. You know, last season only 3 different starting 5s. They're on their 5th one already this season, so that lack of continuity definitely impacts these guys. Jonathan Stewart is going to get more carries today. It's going to be more of a downhill power running game. Look to see some 2 tight end formations a lot in personnel groups during the course of the game for Carolina as well.
They had 2 tights in on the first play from scrimmage. Newton's pass gets batted at the line. 3rd down and 7 coming up.
One of the little things that this Bears defense does very well, they get their hands and deflect passes. They're very athletic. Look at Brian Urlacher watching the eyes of Cam Newton, getting into the throwing lane, elevating, giving that defense an opportunity for a takeaway.
Empty backfield, 3rd down and 7. Panthers must get to the 30. Newton with time, he throws, and the catch is made for a 1st down. Wide open, Brandon LaFell, 18-yard pass play.
That's well done by Carolina right there. You're going to have opportunities to throw the ball down the field. If you can block that front 4 and control it, there's some windows down there in the zone defense that Chicago plays, but you've got to give the quarterback time.
So a new set of downs for Carolina. Stewart in the backfield along with the fullback, Mike Tolbert. Off the play action. Newton in trouble, able to get rid of it. And the pass is incomplete. It was caught out of bounds by the former Bear, 1st-round draft pick back in 07, Greg Olsen.
There's 88 Greg Olsen, gets a good release, working against Nick Roach. Now this is ad-libbed here. Just couldn't get that 2nd foot down in time to stay in bounds.
Well, he had Nate Collins, nice move right in Cam Newton's face. Makes Cam Newton move out of the pocket, and I think it affected the throw.
Collins active goose for the first time this season, number 93. Bunch formation to the left. 2nd and 10, it's Stewart. Tried to cut to the outside, but Charles Tillman was right there. The reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. In fact, he's won it 2 of the last 3 weeks for the 6th-ranked Bears defense.
Here's the reason this group is playing so well. Their front is having an outstanding season. Not just those 4, but the rotation that they're able to throw. There's your stars of the defense, Briggs and Urlacher. Keep your eyes on Nick Roach. He's playing well this season, allowing some things to happen. And one of the big things on the outside or the back end, not just the corners, but Major Wright and Chris Conte have played well all season.
Panthers must get to midfield. Newton fires, and Steve Smith able to make the pass. Looked like Tim Jennings got a piece of it, and then Smith makes the catch, but it's just shy of the marker.
And this is the matchup we're going to see during the course of the day. It's going to be Tim Jennings on Steve Smith. Now, we saw what Charles Tillman did to Calvin Johnson in that last game. That's great concentration by Steve Smith there, but great coverage by Tim Jennings. They like that matchup. Chicago likes the matchup of Tim Jennings versus Steve Smith more than Charles Tillman.
Smith gained 10, needed 11. So Brad Norton and the rookie out of Wisconsin, 6th round pick, back at his 35-yard line. Devin Hester back deep for Chicago. Make it at the 15. Tackled at the 26 by Gary Barnidge. Jay Cutler. And the Bears offense, big tackle moments ago by Tillman.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Bears start from their own 26. Darryl, you talked about this Bears offense at our open. They've done enough, but need to do more.
They do, and they've got some talent here. Jay Cutler, yeah, he can throw it as well as anybody in the league. Brandon Marshall was a huge addition. I'm just waiting for this offense to hit their stride.
2 tight ends set on first down. Off the fake to Matt Forte, a flag as Cutler is sacked by Greg Hardy.
Looks like Jay Cutler felt that hit by Greg Hardy right there. He's not getting up too quick, and he's walked way back towards the end zone right now, trying to shake something off.
Suffered the bruised ribs on Monday night following the hit by Ndamukong Suh.
Looks like he might have gotten something right on his left hand. A good
Illegal hands to the face by the defense. Number 95. It's a 5-yard penalty enforced from the spot of the foul, but it must get back to the original line of scrimmage, and it is first down.
Charles Johnson, 95.
Yeah, but the most important thing comes after this right here. Keep an eye on Cutler's. I don't know, when he went down, he put his left hand down, and his face mask, his own face mask, came down on his left hand.
Cutler back into the huddle.
After that hit last week, Darryl, I think he could shake pretty much anything off. Ndamukong Suh took him down. He just jumped right back up. He's a tough man, Jake.
Hands it off to Matt Forte, who turns the corner. Takes it out to the 33-yard line. Luke Kuechly, the tackle gain of 7.
Now let's go back and take a look at this hit. I mean, Ndamukong Suh, a little bit of professional wrestling right there. Lassos him and gets the leg out, takes his feet out, and slams him.
Yeah, it looks like a...
But he said so himself, you know, that wasn't a dirty hit. I was outside the pocket. Football's football. And like you said, Tony, popped up, you know, missed a couple of snaps here and there during the game, but came back and played. I don't think there's any question that Jay Cutler is a tough guy.
Not at all.
Get it tonight! Good, good. Hey, ready!
Again, 2 tight ends. Second down and 4. As Cutler picks up a first down. The catch by Brandon Marshall out of the 41. And then he has words with Captain Munnerlyn.
Well, for the Chicago offense to take that next step, it's going to be about these guys again. We talked about it with Carolina, but they've solidified this group. Feel good about them. Shiloh Rachel, Lance Lewis, some tough guys there at the guard spot. But it's all about the running game. Matt Forte is going to open everything else up. Brandon Marshall gives them the best receiver that I think the Bears have had in quite some time, maybe in the history of their franchise on the outside.
No doubt about it. Another big run by Forte. Finally brought down by Haruki Nakamura. Forte to midfield, gain of 8. Carolina's defensive unit ranked 20th in the league.
Yeah, but very surprising. You know, last year they were the issue. The offense was having a great season. The defense struggled, and they've taken some good steps this year. They've played well enough for Carolina to win some games, and they got to just continue, just keep chopping, keep playing hard. Eventually the breaks are going to start to go their way.
Without 2 key starters on defense, John Beeson and Chris Gamble.
180!
Second down and 2. Play action. Cutler going deep from Marshall. And it is picked off by Josh Norman, the rookie out of Coastal Carolina. his first NFL pick.
Well, this is something that Mike Tice wanted to find out. He wanted to challenge Carolina's secondary on the deep ball. But when you got three guys back there, I don't care how poorly you think they play it. The odds are in Carolina's favor.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Bud Light, the official beer of NFL fans. Here we go.
No score early first quarter. Bears lead the league in turnover ratio, plus 13 coming into the game. Chicago commits the first miscue today.
And just a situation where you want to test Carolina's secondary. You feel you've got some advantages with a jump ball on a deep throw, and especially with the size of Brandon Marshall. But we're going to go back and take a look at you. We're going to show you what went wrong on that play.
Brian Urlacher and the Bears defense back out onto the field following the Norman interception. Panthers from their own 5. Newton hands it off to Stewart, and he is met by the combination of Henry Melton and Lance Briggs.
Go back and take a look at that interception. This is hard play action, maximum protection. Brandon Marshall is the only guy out. Now, when he's the only guy out, it allows those two safeties to actually become factors in this play. So you've got one player going against 3 players. And I know you want to take your shot. I would have liked to have seen a controlled route underneath mid-tier level to kind of hold those safeties back there to give Brandon Marshall a favorable eye.
A little bit underthrown, too.
Newton out of the shotgun on second down, hands it off to Stewart, and it's Urlacher bringing down Jonathan Stewart, gain of 2. So third down and 8 upcoming for Carolina.
Carolina striking that balance right there, and you've got to stay with it. You got 4 carries. You've only got 3 yards right now, but I agree with Tony. You got to come out here and establish that run. Let that offensive line fire off the football.
Third down and 8.
Carolina can't do something stupid right here. If it's not there, Cam's got to get rid of it.
Newton from the end zone throws it. Stewart. And Stewart out across the 15 has a Panthers first down.
Well, this part of the field, you know, it is critical, and you've got to make sure you're sound with everything you're doing. Here's some protection first. They're bringing their 4 guys. Cam does a good job staying in that pocket as everything starts to collapse on him. Checks the ball down. You're right, Tony. If it's not there, don't try and force it. I thought he did a nice job last week against Dallas, hitting some of his checkdowns in shorter routes, and that's another good job right there.
3 wide receivers set. Tolbert in the backfield. This is the fullback, Mike Tolbert, former San Diego Charger, on the inside handoff, and he gains 4 out to the 20-yard line. We spoke with left tackle Jordan Gross yesterday. He told us Tolbert's old school.
Every fullback is.
That guy, I mean, look at the size of him. I mean, you talk about somebody that's going to be hard to get down to his pad level. Mike Tolbert is built. He's built perfect to be able to get in there and get those tough yards. Now, they haven't got the production out of Mike Tolbert, D'Angelo Williams, and Jonathan Stewart that they were anticipating. They're working with some different things, but they've got to get those guys going.
We have not yet seen Williams on the field today. It's been Stewart, and now Tolbert. Off the fake to Tolbert. Newton throws. He was looking for Steve Smith with Tim Jennings on the coverage, and there is a late flag. Ed Hockley, our referee today.
Number 63 of the offense was illegally downfield. That penalty is declined. Brings up third down.
That's the center, Jeff Handgartner, and you talked about all the changes on the offensive line. 5th different group the last 5 games.
Yeah, but that was a hard play action with that option, that zone keep read, and Jeff Handgartner got downfield on that one.
Handgartner replacing the Pro Bowler Ryan Khalil, placed on injured reserve 2 weeks ago. Third down and 6. Panthers must get to the 26-yard line. Newton in trouble. Julius Peppers the former Panther. It's his first sack in 3 career games against Carolina.
And that is a surge by a defensive line.
They got there with only 3, Tony.
Yeah, not just one guy. Watch these guys here on the left-hand side. Now, they brought 4, and then they dropped the guy out on a little bit of a check out that screen pass. But what penetration. It's unbelievable how fast these guys get off the ball. And not just, you said it earlier, not just the starters, the backups, and even some of the guys that aren't even active today.
Real deep group, Tony. Northman's second punt. Hester in Carolina territory. Cuts all the way to the middle of the field, and then is tackled by one of the newest Panthers brought in this week, Doug Hogue. But terrific field position for the Bears when we return to Chicago.
Today's game is sponsored by KFC. Come in today and taste why fresh is better. By the Samsung Galaxy S3. The next big thing is already here. And by PlayStation Vita. Experience Assassin's Creed 3. Liberation now in your hands. Rated M for mature.
It feels like Chicago today, doesn't it?
Little wintry look to the day today. You look at the little chop on Lake Michigan right there. Got that wintry gray sky.
And that wind, and it comes in the stadium and starts swirling around like a toilet bowl. It's unbelievable. Affecting some of those throws. We'll keep an eye on that.
Great imagery. Great imagery there, Tony.
Not sure I've ever heard that one.
Keeping it real, guys.
During a football telecast, here's Matt Forte. First down and more. Nakamura makes the tackle at the 33-yard line. Matt Forte has had some huge career games against the Panthers. Picks up 16.
Well, we've been talking a lot about Brandon Marshall as a receiver. Watch this on the outside against Josh Norman. He sees it coming to him. He puts himself in a position where if the run breaks to his side, he can use the techniques without getting a penalty. If you're going to have big runs, you got to have receivers committed to blocking downfield.
From the Panthers 33. Cutler fires, caught by Marshall for another Bears first down. 18-yard connection.
There's the other part. I just think he can become a matchup nightmare with his size. And watch how strong he is at the point of the catch. Josh Norman not in bad position. Look at those hands. He just keeps it off his body for a while, too. Come on, try and knock this thing out.
His 43rd reception leads the Bears. From the 15. Cutler swings it out to Forte. And he's chased out of bounds by Thomas Davis.
Little delay route there by Brandon Marshall. Stood on the line of scrimmage for a little while, then slowly leaked out. Changing it up a little bit there.
Bears in the red zone, only 2 touchdowns and 7 possessions over the last 3 games. 3 wide receivers set. Second down and 8 from the Carolina 13. It's Forte up the middle. Forte into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago Bears.
Well, if you want to cure your red zone ills, just start running the football effectively in the red zone. This is what you have to be able to do. There's going to be a trap. Left tackle is going to come out, pull down in here, kick out. You got your linebacker there. Good job by Roberto Garza getting up onto Luke Kuechly, the middle linebacker. Well blocked by the Chicago offensive line.
Matt Forte did a nice job of reading all those blocks coming right off his back end where he's supposed to be.
Robbie Gould, the extra point. Second touchdown of the season for Matt Forte, his first since the season opener. Bears had good field position, took them only 4 plays. They lead the Panthers 7-0.
Well, you know, they're big stars on that drive stepping up. Number 1, Brandon Marshall gets it going. Then you get concerned about that passing game, and you can't lose sight of the fact that Chicago, the important thing against Chicago is stopping that running game. And right now, you know, Carolina is getting roughed up against the run.
and sends it through the end zone. Well, our crew suffered a huge loss this week with the passing of our colleague and great friend Lou Tribbiani at the age of 48. Lou's been Tony's field producer for 6 years, was a cherished member of our family. We dedicate the remainder of this season to our friend Lou. Seven nothing Bears. What's going on, Goose?
Everything's good down here, Kenny.
Goose with his usual view, just as you saw it back in his days with the Colts and the Ravens. Watching the line play. 7-0 Chicago. Newton fakes the inside handoff to Stewart. Now throws it. It's LaFell wide open, and he's taking it all the way towards you, Goose, inside the 20 and tackled at the 17. You had a bird's eye view.
All the action in the backfield caught the attention of the safeties, and they got caught flat-footed. Look at Chris Conte, 47, going to the outside, loses sight of Brandon LaFell, coming right down the middle, right to the area that he just left. Watch all this you got to keep track of in the backfield. Little zone read, keep, pop up, hit the post out of the slot.
62 yards. So now the Panthers in the red zone from the Bears. 18 at Stewart, gets away from Urlacher, and there is a flag after Stewart picked up 2.
Offense, number 62, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Right guard Jeff Byers, time for a game break. Here's Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
All right, the Patriots and Rams playing in London, New England. Feeling right at home, I guess. Tom Brady hooking up with Brandon Lloyd, 19-yard score, even stings at 7 apiece. Kenny Moosey Goose.
All right, thanks, Kurt. 7-7 at Wembley. Patriots first place in the AFC East. Bears were in London this time last season. Beat the Tampa Bay Bucks. 1st and 20 following the penalty. Called on Byers making his first NFL start. Newton to the outside and Stewart. Jonathan Stewart knocked out of bounds at the 23-yard line, gain of 5.
That's a good quick decision by Cam Newton right there. If you've got your back in the flat, take it as quickly as you can. 5 of 8, 104 yards, that big pass to Brandon LaFell. Off to a good start right here. Making some good decisions, good quick decisions.
We have not yet seen Newton run with the football. He's the Panthers' leading rusher this season. He's led Carolina in 4 of their 6 games. 2nd and 15. Newton throws, and that was intended for Smith.
Well, Cam Newton is standing in the pocket, getting pressure, and he's getting rid of that ball early. See Steve Smith right here, wide open. Take a look at the pressure right here from this defense. And they're getting to him a little bit. Cam's doing a good job of standing in the pocket, getting the ball downfield. He just got to get a little bit more on target.
Might be starting to affect that clock in his head, Tony. They're getting there quick.
Yeah, he is releasing a little bit early.
3rd down and 15. Panthers must get to the 8. Greg Olsen, the ex-Bear, brought down at the 16-yard line. So for only the 3rd time this season, the Panthers will attempt a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, a bizarre stat that this is only their 3rd field goal attempt. And on this drive, you know, you get that penalty, but you've got to make sure you take the opportunity to get the points. I think one of the things that Cam Newton is starting to learn is how valuable every possession is at the NFL level. If you've got the opportunity to get points, get them. Don't make a decision that takes points off the board.
So here's Justin Medlock. Spent the last 3 years in the Canadian Football League, 34-yard attempt. And that is Medlock's season and career long. Panthers on the board. Trail the Bears 7-3. Ron Rivera talking to Jeff Byers about that penalty he committed earlier in the drive. As we remind you that Foxtoberfest continues tonight. It is game 4 as the San Francisco Giants go for the sweep with Matt Cain on the mound Giants and Tigers, World Series Game 4 tonight following the OT right here on Fox.
Very surprised to see a 3-0 lead. Very surprised in that series.
Giants in an unfamiliar position after having to come from behind in each of their first 2 series. Leading the Tigers 3-0. Big play, the 62-yard completion from Newton to LaFell. Panthers within 4.
I like the fact that Ron Rivera got with Jeff Byers as he was coming off the field there and let him know, listen, we cannot have penalties down in the red zone, not against this defense. You know, we have got to maximize every opportunity we can, and that was a very, very costly holding.
Now Ron Rivera going with the onside kick, but it does not fool the Bears. Kyle Adams on the recovery and the return.
That's an interesting play call right there on special teams. You know, you kind of got it in that area. You would think that there'd be some type of void there because it's more than an onside. It's just a squib, and usually you'll squib it down into a dead zone. But Kyle Adams is right there, and now you've got a guy who's used to running with the football, with his hands on the ball. And I mean, look, now you're out at the 43-yard line.
So terrific field position for the Bears once again. Forte stays on his feet and then is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Under 2 minutes remaining, first quarter here in Chicago. Matt Forte with the game's first touchdown, averaging just under 9 yards per carry.
Well, he's dangerous. He's the guy you've got to stop. And you know, Carolina knows it. We talked with Sean McDermott, and he said, listen, you know, they've got Jay Cutler, they've got Brandon Marshall. They're getting better in that passing game. But when you play Chicago, you've got to stop Matt Forte.
And the Panthers know they've tried. His 2 biggest games in his career have come against Carolina, 205 and 166 on the ground. Cutler can't find anyone. And again, it is Greg Hardy. It's his 2nd sack today. And his 4th of the season.
They talk about Greg Hardy, and they feel that Greg Hardy has no idea how good he can be. And one of the things that they challenge him to do week in and week out is to become more consistent. They say he is so athletic. This guy is a gunner on the punt team. I mean, that's how athletic he is. And they said if he could just get that through his head, he could be unblockable at times. And we've seen that side of him on 2 plays here in the early parts of this game.
He's been an enigma. But a huge start today for Hardy. 3rd down and 21. Butler in trouble, loses the football, and the Panthers, looks like the Panthers have recovered. Frank Alexander, the rookie out of Oklahoma, comes up with the football. It is the 2nd Chicago Bears turnover.
And they sniffed out this screen, huh, Goose?
Absolutely. The defensive line, if you watch them, right here, they stop, they settle down, everybody's going to play the screen. Johnson does a nice job of coming in, attacking the ball.
That's one of those ones for Jay Cutler. You know the screen is gone, and you know, I know you should be able to sense it. Yeah, get it down to his feet, get it out of bounds. But you know that you don't have a whole lot of protection because everybody's bailing to go get in front of that screen. Cam Newton shifted way out to the left.
D'Angelo Williams takes the snap out of the Wildcat. First time he has touched the ball today, and Williams takes it inside the 10, down to the 9.
Cam Newton out on the side. You don't know if he's going to get the ball or not, but he sells it pretty well. Watch him with his hands right here. He turns, throw it to me. Not much of a fake. Not that good of a fake. Tillman didn't bite that well there. I think Charles Tillman was hoping that he got it.
And then D'Angelo Williams able to gain 7. Time winding down in this first quarter. And the Panthers did not get the snap off in time. So the teams will head down to the other end of the field. Bears lead 7-3, but they turn the ball over twice. Cutler sacked 3 times. Panthers on the move here in Chicago. We start the second quarter. Bears lead the Panthers 7-3. Bit of a role reversal. Panthers with 3 sacks. And they have forced 2 Chicago turnovers. 2nd and 3 from the Bears 9. Newton fires. Pass intended for Louis Murphy. Charles Tillman on the coverage.
Great timing on the hit by Charles Tillman. I mean, this is a good route, a good throw, and great defense. That ball gets there right when Charles Tillman gets hit.
It's like he has a magnet on his hand. Whenever he comes in for a tackle, he's always punching the ball. That's why he gets so many turnovers. He is a beast.
Forced 2 fumbles on Monday night. Now 3rd down and 3.
Got to take advantage of this great field position. They can't kick another field goal here. They got to call a timeout. They did not like the way that play was coming out. Had trouble getting the guys lined up.
So when we return, 3rd down and 3 from the Chicago 9.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Windows 8. By Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And by DirecTV. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
Bears lead 7-3. Big play. Carolina, 3rd down and 3 from the Chicago 9. Newton looking, takes off, has a 1st down, loses the football in the end zone. Louis Murphy at the bottom of the pile. The officials will try and sort things out.
The Bears generated 3 red zone turnovers against Detroit last week.
Looks like Carolina recovered.
This is huge at the bottom of that pile. Huge.
Touchdown, Panthers.
Cam Newton should not be jogging off the field right now. He should be jogging to Louis Murphy and shake his hand. I cannot believe he's going off the field right now. That guy just saved this drive right here.
Here comes the ball. Helmet right on the ball.
Why isn't Cam Newton jogging to Louis Murphy to say, hey, thanks, you have my back? I mean, I'm fumbling in the end zone going in. We talked about how critical that drive was. I don't get that.
I don't either. That's when you got to come together, man. You had a big play right there. You score a touchdown.
Look, Louis Murphy's got to walk up to him and say, hey, I got your back. Don't worry about it, man.
I can't believe
I'm
that.
with you.
Sitting by himself over there. I mean, he's got to be happy about that. You got to be kidding me.
Medlock the extra point. There he is. There's Murphy. We'll give him some love.
Absolutely. Well done, Louis Murphy. I mean, this defense is so good at attacking the football. It's a great decision. Pull it down. You see the man coverage. You know, you're going through, you're loose with the ball, and then, I mean, Major Wright comes in, puts his helmet on. A great hustle by Louis Murphy. Watch Major Wright. Look at the helmet. Placement. Boom. Right on the ball.
Major Wright knocking the ball loose from his good friend. They were teammates at the University of Florida.
And that's
there he is jogging down. All his teammates are in the end zone celebrating, and Cam Newton decided to go off to the sideline by himself. You got to enjoy those moments, Dal. You know how you don't get many of those. You know, you got to enjoy every single one when you're in the NFL.
Well, it's a critical possession. You know, your defense gives you a great field position with the turnover. You're in a 3rd and 3. You get a fumble that goes into the end zone at the bottom of the pile, and you're just like, oh, I hope one of my guys bailed me out on this one. And I just, you know, I would have been right there, you know, giving Louis Murphy a big hug.
Short kick as the Panthers keep it out of Hester's hands. Bounced on by Corey Wooten.
Well, I like that one. Last time they kicked it to Kyle Adams. Now, Kyle's used to catching the football, but Corey Wooten, he's used to chasing the football, but he's not used to catching it.
Having a little fair catch. He should have got a fair catch signal this way.
Oh, come on. You would have never put a fair catch up if you were back there, Goose.
I'd still be running,
lineman.
You kidding me?
The last thing I expected to see from Corey Wooten was a fair catch. He's gonna catch that and take off.
But now the Bears start from their own 23-yard line as Michael Bush takes it up the middle. His first carry, gain of 4. out to the 27. So Jay Cutler and the Bears offense turned the ball over twice in the first quarter. Cutler sacked 3 times. Third sack, forced fumble, leading to the Panthers scoring drive.
And you can see the great field position that the defense gave him. Gave him 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line with that fumble.
Second down and 6 as the Bears keep it on the ground. Again, it is Bush, Frank Alexander. And on the tackle for Carolina, gain of just 1, so a 3rd down and 7 coming up.
Tell you what, that front 7 for Carolina really doing a good job of identifying run and pass. You know, when it's run, they're all on the same level. They're building a wall up there. They're calling things out. They're communicating. Linebackers are talking to defensive linemen. You see them right there in the background. That's what defense is all about, communicate.
Cutler stumbles, down he goes. For the 4th time today, it is Dwan Edwards, along with Frank Alexander. 4th sack for the Carolina Panthers defense.
Now let's give that one to Frank Alexander, because he's the one that's going to force Jay Cutler to step up. And when he steps up, there's Dwan Edwards.
Greg Hardy also there in the middle, get a nice push. But Jay Cutler not able to step up on that play.
Adam Podlish punting from his own 12-yard line. Captain Marwin lets it bounce, lets it roll, and it will be down at the 29. Cutler taken down for the 4th time today.
Well, bad news for the Bears. There's Mike Tice trying to get his O-line straightened out, but it's nothing schematically, Tony. They're not bringing blitzes and pressures.
No, they're really not. You know, they got one-on-one. They're just getting manhandled by that Panthers defensive line.
4 sacks of Cutler. Panthers start from their own 29-yard line. It's Stewart looks for running room, and then he is wrapped up by a trio of Bears. Urlacher leading the way.
Nowhere to go. Great team defense, and that's the thing about the Chicago Bears. And you do have stars on this defense. You have Julius Peppers, and you have Brian Urlacher, and you have Charles Tillman. You've got some big names on that defense, but there are no egos. These guys play as good as an 11-man unit as anybody in the NFL.
They run to the ball. They absolutely do. One thing Carolina can't do is go and give up on the run. They need to keep that run going and try to, chew away at it a little bit.
Stewart, 5 carries, only 1 yard. Newton on 2nd and 12, sets up the screen, gets the ball into the hands of Stewart, and he takes it out to the 36, 3 yards shy of the marker. Time for another game break with Kirk.
Well, after the Redskins scored, the Steelers answered right back. Next drive, Ben Roethlisberger hooking up with tight end Heath Miller, his league-leading for a tight end, 6th touchdown reception, and they're up 17-6 midway through the 2nd quarter. Kenny Moose and Bills.
Man, that is a pregame show. We're not kidding. Those are some ugly uniforms. Oh,
it's like a bunch of bumblebees running around, man.
They said the Three Stooges.
Bears wearing their throwback uniforms today.
They don't look like Curly, Larry, and Ben, though.
No. Newton on 3rd and 3, and the catch is made for 1st down by Steve Smith. He had Tim Jennings all over him.
High coverage, and that's the matchup they like. And Steve Smith has had some good games against the Chicago Bears defense.
Huge games.
And it's interesting, he's different than Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson's a big physical guy that stretches the field. Steve Smith, the ultimate competitor, shorter, stockier. He's going to be able to get in and out of his breaks. Exactly. And so, Lovie Smith, felt, I think that Tim Jennings matches up better against Steve Smith than Charles Tillman.
2 receptions for Smith today. On 1st down, Newton with loads of time, and that pass intended for Murphy and late flag.
You don't see that with the Bears defense. That's not smart football. They usually play smart football. There's Steve Smith.
Do we miss Voisters too?
There was no foul on the play.
Wow.
2nd down.
There you go.
Wow.
Watch Chris Conte after this, though. The flag comes in, and then they pick up the penalty. Interesting decision by the crew. Had the flag down for a late hit. Chris Conte had the flag picked up on him.
So now 2nd and 10. Stewart in the backfield along with Tolbert. But Tolbert leading the way. Stewart attempts to turn the corner. And he is forced out of bounds. Short gain.
And there again, that's that team defense. I mean, Jonathan Stewart is running left, and he's waiting for that running lane to open up. But everybody on that Chicago defense maintaining their gap. They really give him nowhere to go. Push him all the way to the sidelines till he's out of bounds.
3rd down and 9. Panthers must get to the Bears 46. 3 receivers set. Newton clapping, calling for the snap. Now he fires downfield, too far for Smith. There is a marker down at the Chicago 36.
Looks like we might have had a double move on the outside, and Steve Smith got Tim Jennings to bite on that one, got behind him.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact, defense number 26. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, but it's also an automatic first down.
Tim Jennings right here on the coverage. Let's see if it's a double move. Nope, not at all. That's just contact beyond the spot.
First Chicago Bears penalty today. Gives the Panthers a new set of downs from midfield with Carolina leading 10-7. Two tight ends for the Panthers. Newton on first down fires. Some miscommunication on that one with Smith.
Well, again, the coverage that the Bears have decided to put against Steve Smith today, going with Tim Jennings instead of Charles Tillman. We'll just show you a little tally of the tape right here. You see the size of Charles Tillman, and that was the matchup against Calvin Johnson, to match size with size. But when you've got Steve Smith, you've got a different type of challenge. And Tim Jennings fits that bill a little bit better, being able to get in and out of those breaks. Different routes by Steve Smith. He's still going to go vertical. You saw it on that illegal contact. He still had breakaway speed to get over the top at this stage of his career.
Bears held Calvin Johnson in check on Monday night. Inside handoff to Jonathan Stewart, his best run today. Brought down at the 41-yard line, a gain of 9, a yard shy of the marker.
Just a simple inside draw right here. Good blocking by the Carolina front. Greg Olsen coming in and getting Brian Urlacher sealed from the inside.
Now 3rd down and 1 as the Panthers look to keep this drive alive. Carolina 4 for 7 on 3rd down today. Newton hands it off to Stewart. Lance Briggs with the initial penetration. It will depend on the spot.
I know, I would like to have seen them go under center, bring in Mike Tolbert and run some power football in this situation. When you're in shotgun, all the offensive linemen for the Carolina Panthers were in a 2-point stance. That's a tough job to ask them to block the front of the Chicago Bears out of a 2-point stance in a short yardage situation.
Just short.
Big decision for Ron Rivera right here.
Newton heading back out onto the field.
And they've had 2 situations like this in Atlanta. They decided not to go for it. Against Dallas last week, they decided to go for it on a 4th down. You can see right there, 0 for 5 this season.
under center this time, looks like.
Newton on the sneak. And Cam Newton picks up a Panthers first down. Well, Carolina converts for the first time this season after going 0 for 5 on 4th down.
And this is tough right here because you've got Jeff Hangartner, who's playing his second game at center since Ryan Khalil's gone out. And then you've got Jeff Byers at your right guard. And, you know, that's a situation that could be in flux, you know, the remainder of the season, trying to figure out and solidify that right guard spot. That's right where that critical 4th down quarterback sneak went. So good job by both of those guys.
Yeah, they caught Julius Peppers also moving. He wasn't set. A little bit high there. Got driven back just a little bit, which is unusual for him.
On first down, it's Stewart. Again, Briggs with the initial penetration. And then Nate Collins comes in to help out. Gain of just 1 for Jonathan Stewart. Had that 9-yard run moments ago, but only 12 yards on 9 carries.
Only 9 carries, but you can't get discouraged as a running back, especially against this Bears defense. These guys are going to run to the ball. They're going to make you earn everything that you get out there, but you got to just keep pounding and hopefully break one.
Second down and 9. Newton out of the shotgun. Sets up the screen to Stewart. And Stewart has a first down and more down to the Chicago 23. A 360 by Cam Newton. And then the screen pays off as Stewart gains 15. It's a right slow to get up.
And Lance Briggs, both of them. This is pretty athletic by Cam Newton here. Kind of hard to find Jonathan Stewart. A lot of trust in there to get that up over the top and get it downfield. And you can see the collision down there. Charles Tillman, major right. Lance Briggs, all coming in on Jonathan Stewart.
You got DJ Moore also, the corner on the outside. I mean, he stops and hesitates when Cam gave him that little bit of a fake. If he would have kept coming, he might have had a sack on that play.
Briggs and Wright both remain on the field. From the Bears 23, Newton fakes the inside handoff to Tolbert, throws to the outside, and Jennings thought he had a shot. Pass intended for Steve Smith.
Oh, he got away with that decision right there. He stared this one down the whole time, and Tim Jennings was just waiting for it. And this is a long throw.
How about that break on the ball? Look at that.
He's in front of Steve Smith.
Like Jennings knew the route just as good as Steve Smith did.
Jennings with 4 interceptions, Goose, this season, tied for the league lead. They all came in the Bears' first 3 games. Second and 10. Panthers empty backfield. From the 23-yard line. Newton to the tight end, Olsen. Greg Olsen down to the 13-yard line of the Bears. Close to another first down, and Olsen did in fact.
Yeah, we're starting to see some of the power formation. Here's Ben Hartsock out here. You've got Greg Olsen on the outside. There's Mike Tolbert right there, but we're going from an empty formation. So you bring that personnel in. They've committed to some too tight personnel groups here early in the game. They get Greg Olsen outside, matched up against the linebacker, run the quick slant.
Angelo Williams will take the snap. Second time we've seen this from the Panthers today. And Williams forces his way inside the 10, down to the 9 for a gain of 4.
You know what? I'm going to take D'Angelo Williams, and I'm going to give him some opportunities running from the halfback spot now because he's making some yards when there's not a whole lot there. That's the second time we've seen this Wildcat style of play. Watch, this is defended well by Chicago, but D'Angelo Williams is making some yards when there's not a whole lot there.
Not this time. Shane McClellan, the rookie out of Boise State, comes unblocked.
Well, we got him a shot to carry the ball from the tailback spot, but somebody needs to block this guy right here. He gets inside Greg Olsen, takes a hard inside charge. That's a big play right there to force a 3rd and long.
Yeah, Gary Williams went on the pull and just nobody filled there to seal that backside.
16th play of this drive for Carolina. 3rd down and 10. Newton to the end zone looking for Murphy. And the Panthers will send out the field goal unit.
Fourth and 10 at the 13.
So the Panthers control the ball for over 8 minutes. They drive inside the 10-yard line of Chicago, and now Medlock, who attempted 2 field goals all season heading into this game, will attempt his second here in the first half. Connected from 34 yards out earlier. This a 31-yard attempt. Nortman places it down, and Medlock remains perfect on the season. He had been 2 for 2 coming in. He's now 4 for 4. The Carolina Panthers extend their lead. It is now 13-7.
Today's game is sponsored by the new 2013 Ford F-150 with EcoBoost.
Back in Chicago, a 17-play drive. Newton, Steve Smith talking about things on the sideline.
And that's what you have to do, because during the course of the drive, things are going to come up differently. You're going to see different things. And, you know, Chicago plays a very base, fundamental style of defense, but there's going to be little subtleties that you need to talk to, communicate through. We talked about Cam being different during the course of the week, but we need him to be different here today. And that's a good sign when he's coming off the field with Steve Smith trying to get on the same page.
For the 3rd straight kick, the Panthers keep it out of the hands of Hester. This is Eric Weems, the former Falcon. Weems knocked out of bounds at the 20. Bears back on offense, trailing by 6. 5-1 Bears trailing the Carolina Panthers 13-7, late second quarter here in Chicago. Bears have turned the ball over twice. Jay Cutler's been sacked 4 times. Hands it off to Matt Forte on first down, and Forte takes it out to the 29-yard line for a gain of 9.
Yeah, and there's a good, you know, solution to the issue that's been happening during the course of the game up to this point. You know, they've had a difficult time throwing the football, so just turn around and hand it to Matt Forte. You look at Jay Cutler under pressure today.
Back 4 times and only 8 dropbacks. Cutler 3 for 4. Second down and 1, and Forte picks up the first down to the 34.
Now, this is just the front of the Carolina Panthers. They are not overloading sides with blitzes. They're not doing anything crazy schematically, and they've been getting back to Jay Cutler. There's the last turnover there. Opportunity for points, but it's been a tough day in the pocket for Jay Cutler.
Cutler back on first down. He throws, and the pass incomplete. Intended for Marshall.
Interesting hand position for Brandon Marshall on that one. He had him reverse of what I would have done. I would have reached out for it. Let's see his hands at the top of this. You're coming inside. I would have turned him to the quarterback. He's got him kind of turned away from the quarterback. Interesting. Must have felt some safety presence coming. Haruki Nakamura was playing that deep half, maybe worried about a big collision.
2 receptions for Marshall today. Cutler only 3 completions. Second down and 10. Cutler moving to his right. He throws, and again it's intended for Marshall. Captain Munnerlyn on the coverage.
I'm impressed by the Carolina defense, Tony. They're playing well this afternoon. This is a tough assignment for Captain Munnerlyn. You're 5'8" against 6'4".
Nice play action also. Some of the guys bit, but everybody stayed with their receiver downfield.
Negative 7 yards passing. Let's get it to Forte.
Out of the shotgun on third down. Cutler over the middle.
Yeah, it's going to be it.
And there is a flag. Not a surprise as Forte was knocked down.
Pass interference. Defense, number 58. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Thomas Davis.
Such a difficult thing on third. You come out and play some good defense, and now you're giving your opposition the ball again. Thomas Davis right here. It's an arrow route coming back across. The ball is in the air, so if you have contact in the air, Thomas Davis is telling the official that's inside 5 yards. It doesn't matter, the ball was in the air, so when you made that contact there, it becomes pass interference.
From the 38, it's Forte. Knocked out of bounds by James Anderson at the 41-yard line. Gain of 3 for Matt Forte, who scored the touchdown, which gave the Bears a 7-0 lead, but the Carolina Panthers have scored the last 13 points. Ron Rivera, drafted by Chicago back in 1984, played in 149 games with the Bears, including Super Bowl 20. Second down and 7. Cutler's pass is intended for Matt Spaeth, and it is ruled incomplete.
He's got an opportunity to make a big play. Now, this is your tight end who's going to come in, and he's going to do a lot of blocking. So when he gets down the field vertically, you're going to lose him from time to time. And he's got an opportunity right here to make a big play. Releases, gets up the seam. Everybody kind of turns him loose.
He has his eyes on the ball. He just got to go and bring it in and cover it up.
Good job by Captain Merlin getting over there. Right as he was about to secure it, he knocked it loose.
See that ball out there, punch it out.
Third down and 7. Cutler hit right after the throw. Sails out of bounds. The Bears will punt it away.
Yeah, they are really frustrating this Chicago Bear offense right now. And we saw the regular guys get it. Now you're going to have Sherrod Martin come around the outside and get to Jay Cutler unblocked. So in the beginning of the game, it was the down 4 that were getting pressure. Now Carolina is adding a little bit of that extra guy and bringing the blitz and getting home to Jay Cutler.
Podless will punt. Captain Mutterlin, who had a great series on defense, stays on the field. He's back deep and calls for a fair catch. Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, we check in with Kurt.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, we'll have highlights from a busy Week 8, including the Patriots taking on the Rams in London, and the Dolphins looking to upset their division rival Jets. Join Terry, Jimmy, and we'll get Michael and Howie somewhere on the Visa Halftime.
Jimmy's got to relax. He's too stressed out.
Is that what Jimmy looked like when he coached for you there, Darryl?
Yeah, you walk into his office, just had his feet up on the counter. Come into a meeting, prop him up, watch some special teams tape.
Yeah, I'm sure.
How approachable was he back then? Do you wander into his office on occasion?
I would never expect to have seen him do Gangnam Style at any point during my career.
We saw that on the pregame a couple of weeks back. Screen pass intended for Jonathan Stewart.
Jimmy was more Lombardi style back when I was playing.
There you go.
That's a compliment to this offense today, because Chicago challenges you to be a patient offense, and they have done a good job here in the first half of taking what Chicago is giving them.
Stewart on second down. And that should take us to the 2-minute warning here at Soldier Field. The 5-1 Bears, first place in the NFC North. Panthers just 1-5. Carolina with a 13-7 lead over Chicago. Louis Murphy recovers the fumble in the end zone. 2-minute warning, back in a moment. Third down and 8 for the Carolina Panthers, who lead by 6. Penalty markers, free play for the Panthers as the pass skips short, intended for Brandon LaFell.
I don't know what Israel Donje was looking at. Defense, number 71, 5-yard penalty, repeat third down.
You have an empty backfield. Well, you got All you got to do is look down inside at the ball. I don't know what drew him right there.
The guard.
The guard, yeah, the guard's hand. Okay. That's why I got you up there on the side there, Dal. I need a pair of eyes to see that kind of stuff. I can't see it from back here in the end zone.
I only caught it on the replay.
So now 3rd down and 3 Goose following the penalty. Newton again out of a shotgun. Newton throws, and the catch is made by Smith. What a hit. Took a big hit after the play from Major Wright, but Steve Smith picks up 14 out of Panthers' first down.
I tell you what, he is a tough guy. He is a competitor. He knows he's going to get hit right here just because of the defense Chicago plays. You run the skinny post into the center of that field, you got a chance to get a big hit.
Now Newton hit, lost the football, but there is a flag. Covered by the left guard, Amini Solotolu.
They ran up to the line of scrimmage fast to try to get that play off. Wondering if everybody got set.
Ed Hockley trying to sort things out.
Personal foul, face mask by the offense, number 69. That penalty is declined. Brings up 2nd down.
That's Jordan Gross, the left tackle. Bears declined the penalty, so Julius Peppers credited with his 2nd sack. Peppers getting around his ex-teammate. Practiced against each other every day for many years. Here's Peppers and Jordan Gross. 2nd down and 21. Jonathan Stewart. Stewart found a hole and picks up 9 out to the 38.
Good play call by Carolina right there.
Timeout Chicago.
Timeout taken by the Bears. Their first. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. 1:16 to play, 2nd quarter.
It's been a interesting game today. Kind of a little bit of a role reversal. Matt Forte kind of got us back on track. Chicago's had some success running the football. Struggled when they've thrown. Lewis Murphy, great hustle play right here. Getting in there, getting that fumble recovery in the end zone. A huge play for Carolina. At that point, Chicago had jumped out 7-0. Carolina has come back to score the next 13.
A minute 20 on the clock. Each team with 2 timeouts. 3rd down and 8. Panthers must get to the 46 for a first down. As Newton throws, and it is ruled a completion to Steve Smith for a first down at the Chicago 44-yard line.
Toughness on the play earlier in this drive when he takes the big hit, and then just great hands there as he goes down to get it.
Panthers look to get the snap away quickly. We're under 2 minutes, so would have been a booth review, not a challenge. Bears were unhappy that it was ruled a reception, and now Newton slides to the 39. And
it's a good job by Carolina getting up to the line and hustling and getting that ball snapped.
Timeout Carolina. That's their 2nd.
Timeout taken by Carolina. Hard to tell on that replay. As you said, great job by the Panthers getting up to the line quickly.
But I haven't seen anything on either of those. Let's see it on this one. We got a more front shot here. I think Steve Smith got that ball.
Yeah, I think it hit his hand and bounced right up at him.
I know the fans here in Chicago didn't like it, but all those replays, I think the booth saw that and felt there wasn't enough to overturn it. It was a great job going down and getting that ball, getting your hands underneath. Look at that.
Wow.
You know what? More impressive than Carolina's offensive output is their defensive performance. against Chicago, holding them to 57 yards here in the first half.
They have forced 2 turnovers, sacked Jay Cutler 4 times. Captain Munderland, who's had a strong game. 2nd down and 6 from the Bears 40. Carolina with 1 timeout remaining. Newton in trouble, gets rid of it. And a diving pick. A diving interception as Newton tried to throw it away. Tim Jennings with his 5th of the season. What a play.
You don't want to throw it to his side of the field the way he breaks on balls, Darryl.
Greg Olsen has just got to go get this. You know, he cannot wait for this ball to come. Look at him, he's going to wait for it. You're going to wait for it, and it's too late. He felt Tim Jennings coming. You have got to go to the ball in that situation. Tim Jennings, great athletic play to get that interception.
A spectacular play by Jennings. So the Bears, who lead the league in interceptions and takeaways, with their first today. Booth taking a look at the play upstairs just to make sure.
Timeout, Carolina.
And
That's their 3rd and final
Panthers
timeout.
use their final timeout.
Now, I'm not going to put this one on Cam Newton because he's working hard in the pocket trying to get that ball out so he doesn't get the sack. You know, Greg Olsen just has to understand he can't wait for that to come. He's got to sense Tim Jennings coming in on that and move towards the ball and block his path. You can see right there they're going to get confirmation on the interception.
And it has been confirmed upstairs. Panthers use their final timeout. Bears have 2 with 38 seconds remaining. There's Olsen. He was in the vicinity as Newton tried to throw it away. Now take the sack amidst the turnover.
And this is the moment I've been waiting for this Chicago Bear offense. You know, they got an opportunity here now to play that complementary style of football. Your defense just got you a turnover. You're late in the first half. You haven't played well the entire time up to this point. Make a statement here by going down and getting some points.
Need to go about 20 yards to get into field goal range for Robbie Gould. Cutler out of the shotgun on 1st down. Cutler moving to his right. He throws, and the catch is made at the 45-yard line by Marshall as the Bears hustle to the line. Now 25 seconds. Gain of 11. Down to 20 seconds. Cutler wrapped up. 5th sack for the Panthers.
Greg Hardy is having an afternoon today. Holy cow. Whether he's coming from the defensive end position, now they've kicked him down inside. Now he's coming from the defensive tackle spot. I tell you, the message has been received by Greg Hardy. Yeah, he was pulled out of practice on Thursday because he wasn't practicing the way that Ron Rivera and Sean McDermott wanted him to. Message received.
3rd sack of the game for Hardy. 3rd year out of Ole Miss. Had 9 career sacks coming into this game. Well, Hardy today, a career high 3 sacks. So now 14 seconds on the clock. Bears with 1 timeout. Cutler on 2nd down, hit loose of the football. So it is a 6th Carolina sack, and Charles Johnson comes up with it.
Wow, they are just, man, we talked about it earlier, Darryl. Up front, 4-man rush. They are just manhandling this offensive line for the Chicago Bears. Look at the surge the whole defense has. Both ends putting the pressure on. Reaching out, getting the ball out from Jay Cutler. Edwards up in the middle there, getting push.
2nd sack for Johnson. He recovers the fumble.
See if they get something quick to the sideline, maybe set up a field goal opportunity, or if they're going to take a shot into the end zone here with only 8 seconds left and no timeouts.
From the Chicago 39. Newton to the outside for Olsen. Out of bounds at the 33. So this would be approximately a 51 yard attempt. These are halftime report coming up with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. Falcons, the only remaining unbeaten team in the NFL, with a big lead over the Eagles. So Ron Rivera will not send out Medlock. His longest attempt this season has been from 34 yards out, so they will not attempt a 51-yarder. Instead, one final play. 3 seconds remaining, first half. Newton fires downfield, and he put too much on it. So the first half comes to an end. The Carolina Panthers with 6 sacks. They force 3 turnovers, lead the Bears 13-7. Visa Halftime Report is coming up next. We get set for the second half here in Chicago. Carolina Panthers lead the Chicago Bears by the score of 13-7. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Darryl, the first half numbers certainly favored Carolina.
Very surprising. And, you know, the big thing here is the sacks allowed by Chicago. And, you know, a lot of those are leading to turnovers. You got 2 fumbles in the pocket. It's kind of a role reversal. You mentioned it in the first half. You know, the Carolina Panther defense reminds us more of the Chicago defense than the Chicago defense does.
They're just dominating.
Once again, Panthers keep it away from Hester. Craig Stiltz on the return, so terrific field position for the Chicago Bears as we start the second half. But the Panthers defense, as we just alluded to, has been the story of this game.
They really have it, and unfortunately for the Chicago Bears, you go in at halftime. Sometimes there's some things that you can do. Maybe schematically there's a blitz that you haven't been able to pick up. You're having issues there. This is just Carolina's front 4 on defense beating Chicago's offensive line. They got to step up and get it figured out in this second half, or it's going to be a long day.
6 sacks of Jay Cutler in the first half. Cutler hands it off to Matt Forte. Gains a yard up to the 44.
About the only thing that Carolina is doing today that has me confused is this kickoff thing they're doing. Now I understand that Devin Hester's back there, but you've got to be able to come up with a better way that gives you the opportunity to go out and play defense in a better field position scenario as you keep the ball away from Devin Hester than at the +40, which they've done a couple of times.
Second down at 9. It's Forte once again out to the 47, gain of 2.
You know what, Darryl, I totally agree. You know, the defensive line for the Carolina Panthers is just dominating. But one thing I'm surprised with Chicago's offense is Matt Forte. I mean, he is just, you know, running so well. I mean, he's really giving that defense problems, but they're not really going to him as much as I thought they would be.
10 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown for Matt Forte.
Open. 59.
Third down and 7. Cutler backpedaling and then had the pass deflected, and it's caught out at midfield. There's a flag. Devin Hester able to make the catch. Flag back at the 38.
Hester wants some kind of action, Darryl. It's not like he's getting anything
Holding
on kickoff.
offense, number 62. The penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
Shiloh Rochelle. Panthers declined the penalty. Bears will punt it away after Frank Alexander got a piece of the Cutler pass. So now Podlish will punt it away. Mutterland back deep. Mutterland lets it bounce. And it takes a Bears roll down to the 6.
Cannot let the ball hit the ground in that situation. Captain Mutterland's got to find his way up there and get that fair catch.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at Southwest.com. By Bud Light, the official beer of NFL fans. Here we go. By Volkswagen, that's the power of German engineering. And by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving.
We're riding down the river here in Chicago where the Bears trail by 6. Despite the 3 turnovers, 6 sacks of Cutler, still a 1-possession game. Cam Newton's numbers in the first half. Big play, 62-yard pass to Brandon LaFell. Panthers start from their own 6. Newton out of the end zone, and once again it is Steve Smith, his 5th catch today. Good for 18 yards and a Panthers first down.
That's an aggressive play call backed up in your own end here. Your first drive of the second half. I like it.
It's one thing this offense has to do is get a little bit more confidence, take some more chances.
From the 24, it's Jonathan Stewart. Stewart bottled up.
Major Wright comes off the left-hand side. Identifies the run. Just does a nice job of tripping up Jonathan Stewart right there. Boom.
He came down from the safety spot, Tony. They kind of did like a 5-man front, which is when you cover the guard, center guard, and then you've got 2 defensive ends. The one defensive end in that formation was safety Major Wright.
Yeah, we have to keep an eye on Jonathan Stewart because after that play, he did grab his right knee. So
Stewart out, Tolbert in. Second down and 11. 3 receivers set for Carolina. Newton's pass is caught by the tight end, Ben Hartsock, who picks up a first down and more. That is his first reception of the season.
It's one of the situations where we've been waiting for this, you know, the double tight end. Last year with Jeremy Shockey here, they were able to do some different things with the 2 tight ends. There's Greg Olsen, number 88. It's a double release. He's getting funneled down. They lose Ben Hartsock underneath. This is a nice catch and run right here. They've got to give Ben Hartsock and Gary Barnage an opportunity to show them that they can make plays in a 2 tight end formation, because it was a personnel group that last season this Carolina offense had some good plays on.
So Hartsock, a 9-year veteran, gains 25 yards. D'Angelo Williams in the backfield. He takes the handoff from Newton and stumbles.
Right there, I think he's so concerned about ball security against this Bears defense. He's got 2 hands on the ball, and he's unable to make a quick cut to get away from Byron Bell, who's getting shoved back into the backfield, trips over his feet.
That was Williams' 4th carry today. 2 of the 4 came when he took the direct snap out of a Wildcat formation. Second down and 11. The tight end Olsen split out to the left. Williams remains in the game for Stewart. Again, it's D'Angelo Williams. Dives forward. Gains a yard. D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. Think back to the 2008 season. Williams set a franchise record. Over 1,500 yards. First set of teammates in league history to both gain 1,100 on the ground, but not really able to get things going this year.
No, it's been a struggle, and it was an area last year where they were still able to function in that dynamic, and it's to the point now where the Carolina Panthers are looking at the situation, and maybe we don't go running back by committee, we commit to one of those guys.
Third down and 10 with Tolbert in the backfield. And Newton finds Tolbert, and Tolbert makes a couple of nice moves, picks up a first down.
Barrow, was that a fullback making moves?
That's some nice feet for a big man right there.
Tolbert does a nice job. Come on, talk us through it, Darryl.
I mean, he's a couple of sandwiches away from being a guard, and look at those feet. I mean, that is some nifty footwork through the middle of the field. And now this is a very, very good tackling defense.
Woo! Look at that shuffle. Looking vertical, protecting the ball.
What kind of sandwiches, Darryl?
Man, it doesn't take much there. He's close, Kenny.
He gained 16. And now D'Angelo Williams picks up another Panthers first down inside the Chicago 20. So first it's Colbert for 16, and now Williams gains 17.
And that is the difference, in my opinion, between Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Williams. I think that big play threat in the running game is always there with D'Angelo Williams.
I think both of those guys, D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart, the more they carry the ball, and as the game goes on, they get better and better. It's when you go away from them and have long stretches where they're not getting the ball at all, that all of a sudden, you know, they got to get back in a rhythm again. There's a lot of, a rhythm has a lot to do with the momentum of a running back.
On first down, it's Williams. We saw Stewart nodding his head affirmatively on the sidelines. Looks like he's ready to come back in, has his helmet on. Here he comes.
Here he comes right now. And you know, one of the things, Tony, about these two running backs, and you talked about this earlier, when you're running the option and you're running that read keep, you limit what they can do from a cutback standpoint.
Absolutely.
And it makes it hard on those two guys. So when we've seen these runs today with D'Angelo and Jonathan, you know, it's more traditional style runs when they're having their big plays.
Stewart back in the game, second down and 9. Fakes the inside handoff to Stewart, and then looking for Brandon LaFell. There is a late flag.
Yeah, that's going to be helmet to helmet on a defenseless player, and Brandon LaFell is still down.
There's a penalty marker on the play.
We just got to continue to keep these players understanding that there's different rules in the game today. You know, we've got to stay away from helmet to helmet. If you have to turn down that hit, Chris Conte, then you've got to turn that hit down because he's going to the ground. But I know it's difficult. You know, we've got targeting issues. You know, guys are coming in and not intentionally trying to hit helmet to helmet. And sometimes because of the way the play ends, it happens. But in that situation, Chris Conte's just got to be smart and understand that there's different rules in the game today. You've got a defenseless player exposed, and it's head, shoulder, and forearm.
Contact to the head of a defenseless receiver. Half the distance to the goal. First down. 47.
And I think that the thing that the fans have to understand when you see some of these plays, it's not just helmet to helmet. It's helmet, shoulder, and forearm on a defenseless player.
So Brandon LaFell heading to the sidelines.
Good to see. Good to see.
Oh, man.
Runs off under his own power, which is terrific. One more look at the hit by second-year safety Chris Conte.
And it's, you know, it's helmet, forearm, shoulder. He's bringing all three. And you just can't do that in the NFL today. You've got to have respect for your opponents and their safety and well-being. And you want to have a physical presence back there, and that's the fine line that Chris Conte has to walk. He also has to be a safety that when he's in the deep half or playing that deep middle of the field, that people also are aware that he's a tough physical football player, but he just has to be smart and play within the confines of the new rules.
First and goal from the Chicago 9 following the penalty. Stewart and Colbert in the backfield. Murphy in motion. This is Stewart. Jonathan Stewart gains 5 yards down to the Bears 4.
Cam Newton talked about going up against the Bears defense earlier in the week, and he understands how this defense is structured. You know, they play very, very sound. They don't do a lot of different things, but what they do very well. They challenge your patience, and this offense has had great patience today in taking what Chicago has been giving them and not trying to force things and make something happen that's not there.
Cam Newton not trying to do too much today.
Exactly. Let the players around you make plays for you.
10th play of the drive started at their own 6-yard line. Newton on second and goal. Incomplete, intended for Smith.
We've got evidence of it. We had a 16-play drive in the first half. We're in the midst of a 10-plus play drive right here. That's great patience and understanding of what you have to do against this Bears defense to have success.
Well, down here also, this Bears defense not only has to worry about pass rush and coverage, they got to worry about Cam Newton with the ball and deciding to go and run in this play.
Third and goal from the 4. Newton throws. And again, it's Jennings with the coverage on Smith.
Tried to force that one, Darryl.
Well, I just don't like this play call, Tony. I mean, it's a simple slant. You know, you got two guys out. You're going to have a slant by Kealoha Polaris, and you've got a slant by Steve Smith. And I just think there's so many other things. You just talked about all the things you've got to be concerned about and what you have to defend, and that's a pretty simple play down on that part of the field.
So here's Medlock, 22-yard attempt. Medlock 3 for 3 today. Carolina Panthers extend their lead. Ron Rivera back in Chicago, up by 9. Panthers drive 12 plays, 90 yards. Started at their own 6, and now lead by 9.
They've had a couple of impressive drives here, understanding that they have to be patient. You got to focus on the execution on every snap. But the bad news for the Carolina Panthers, kicking field goals on those drives, not getting some touchdowns.
Panthers have run 56 plays, Bears only 28. Not a surprise here in Chicago. Ball blows off the tee.
Yeah, it's still windy down here on the field.
Chicago's made some changes with their kickoff group now. They've got some athletic guys in that second tier area. If Carolina continues to do these squib kicks, they don't have the big bodies that you normally see as blockers in that second level. They've got running backs and tight end type people.
If it blows off twice, you have to send the holder in. So Captain Munderland with another job for his resume. Again, they will keep it away from Devin Hester and set up another short field for the Chicago Bears. They will start from their own 41, down by 9. Ron Rivera's Carolina Panthers leading the Chicago Bears 16-7. Bears start from the 41-yard line as Cutler's pass is short, looking for the tight end, Matt Spaeth.
But you know, I'm still confused about this kickoff approach, Tony, because this is the third time we've had him out beyond the 40-yard line to start a drive. That's not asking Chicago's offense to do a whole lot. I mean, they've been fortunate that Chicago has just been really struggling this afternoon on the offense. Brian Murphy continuing to choose to do these certain kicks, and on the last one, you know, Chicago's onto it. They've got running backs and secondary type players in that second level. They don't have the big defensive linemen and tight ends anymore.
Hey, you put a lot of pressure on that defense. All you have to go offensively is probably like 25 yards to be in field goal range.
And the Panthers defense has come up big as Cutler takes off. And he is tackled by Luke Kuechly at the 45-yard line. Gain of 4. Kuechly, the first-round pick out of Boston College, won the Butkus Award last season. Very appropriate to mention that here in Chicago as the best linebacker in all of college football.
Yeah, and he's kind of slid into that middle linebacker position now with John Beeson going on to IR, coming off the weak side linebacker spot and moving inside, and it's a natural fit for him. And even Ron Rivera said, you know, he looks very comfortable playing that middle linebacker spot now.
Spotted some Butkus jerseys in the crowd today. 3rd down and 6 for the Bears, who trail by 9. Must get to the Carolina 49. And they cannot, as Hester is unable to make the catch.
This is a huge drop by Devin Hester because this Bears offense finally has an opportunity to make a play to get a first down. They've been struggling all afternoon, and you've got to make that play. I mean, this offense cannot continually rely on their defense to jumpstart this team, and we've seen it against Dallas. We saw it against Jacksonville in a similar type game to this. It was the defense that got the Chicago Bears going.
We were talking about Greg Hardy all game. He has 3 sacks, nearly blocked that punt. Panthers defense outstanding, frustrating Jay Cutler all day long. Frustrating afternoon for Jay Cutler and the Bears offense. They've had good field position throughout, but have not been able to capitalize.
They have not.
Now Cam Newton and the Panthers go to work from their own 12-yard line. The handoff to Jonathan Stewart, stays on his feet. Hard to bring him down.
And he went 5 yards after he got hit. He just kept driving, and they kept pushing the pile.
Stewart out to the 18-yard line. Gain of 6 as we approach 5 minutes remaining. Third quarter here in Chicago. 5-1 Bears, 1-5 Panthers, but it's Carolina leading by 9.
And that's the type of run by Jonathan Stewart on that last play that's gotten him the majority of the snaps the last couple of weeks. Ron Rivera really likes that toughness.
Second down and 4. Quickly out to Steve Smith. Able to get back up. Just shy of the marker, brought down at the 21. Time for a game break with Kurt Menefee. Kurt?
Well, in England, the Rams scored the first 7 points of the game. After that, it's been all Patriots. Brandon Lloyd, 2 touchdown receptions, including that 9-yarder. 38 unanswered by New England. They lead it big in the third quarter. Kenny Newsom News.
Wow, thanks, Kurt. Big third down and 1. Upcoming for the Panthers. Newton found the option, picks up a first down. He hasn't run much today, but he's been effective when he has. And we talked earlier about the decision-making. Players, coaches we've talked to feel that maybe the team has put too much on his plate over the first 6 games.
But I think you need to put this one on him. This is a straight-out quarterback run. You know, you get a favorable number count. You're going to drop that 8th guy down into the box, but when you have a running quarterback like Cam Newton, you still have the ability to block that 8-man front and have everybody accounted for.
So good job there by Newton as the Panthers move the chains. From the 28-yard line on first down, play action. And then Newton fires downfield for Smith, who goes up and comes down with the football. A spectacular catch by Steve Smith at the Bears 25, a 47-yard completion.
He is just having a phenomenal day. I mean, this is, again, it's good coverage by Tim Jennings, but look at the ability of Steve Smith in tight coverage, hand-checking all the way down the sideline. And just great concentration. We've seen that play. The skinny post where he took the big hit. I mean, Steve Smith, it doesn't matter what route you're running, what type of pass you want to throw. I mean, he can go get it and go get it done.
118 yards for Smith on 7 receptions. From the 25, it's D'Angelo Williams. Not much as we approach 2 minutes remaining, third quarter. And we've talked about it throughout the day. Bears, good field position. Can't move the football. Panthers,
Bad
on a number of
field
occasions,
position.
Horrible
start
field-
deep in their own territory and are able to move it down into the Bears half of the field.
Which is a shocker to me, Darryl, because when you're a good defense and you have an offense backed up, there's only so many things, and they press a little bit offenses, and you know they're going to throw short passes, and you can break on things and make things happen. But I'll tell you what, you got to give it to Carolina's offense, being able to go and run and pass the ball and get out of that hole that they dug themselves into.
Newton had that pass batted down.
I think that offensive coordinator Rob Chodzinski did a great job of getting this message across this week as they got ready to play against Chicago. It's winning the game that's the important thing. It's not winning each individual play. And if you come in with that mentality, then you're going to be in a position where you're going to play smart. You're going to take what the Bears defense is giving you. They've taken some shots down the field when they've gotten one-on-one, and those have paid off with a couple of big plays. Steve Smith, Brandon LaFell. But most of the afternoon, very patient.
Wooten on 3rd and 10. Another pass knocked out. Looked like Corey Wooten again.
Again, I think it's one of those situations you're trying to run a screen and you catch the Bears playing man defense, and Brian Urlacher, number 54, is going to lock on to Jonathan Stewart, number 28. You see him moving out there right now, and it's a good decision by Cam. There's nowhere to go with that ball. You know, the only thing that's going to happen if you try and force it is something bad. So just get rid of it, throw it away, give your field goal kicker a chance to convert.
Busy day for Justin Medlock, 43-yard attempt. Medlock just 2 for 2 coming into this game. He is 4 for 4 today. Panthers extend their lead to 12. Late third quarter here in Chicago. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. 12-point lead for the Panthers. Stephen Hester has not had much to do today as the Panthers have squib kicked 4 times. Kept the ball out of the hands of Hester, who had 2 huge returns against Carolina last October, a 69-yard punt return for a touchdown and a long kick return.
And here's the difference. That's that's Eric Weems. That's Armando Allen over there. So the area that the balls are being kicked, you've got a return guy. Number one, you've got Eric Weems, a return guy, and you've got a running back. The 2 areas that they've been trying to do this squib kick now. Chicago's adjusted.
Ben Wonderland with the hold. This is Earl Bennett, a wide receiver, scoops it up to the 16. And Bennett takes it out to the 34. 18 yards on the return. Fox Sports is proud to partner with the Children's Organ Transplant Association during our NFL on Fox coverage. CODA is giving hope and making miracles for families whose children are facing transplants. To help change a child's life, please visit coda.org/Fox Sports. Bears have had the ball for only 13 minutes. As Cutler hands it off to Forte. Time for a game break. Here's Kurt.
Well, Matthew Stafford has been the offense for Detroit today. 2 touchdown passes, and then he runs the one on the bootleg, giving the Lions lead over Seattle 21-17 early on in the 4th quarter. Kenny Moose and Goose.
That's pretty impressive by Detroit. That's a tough Seattle defense.
Nice speed by Matt Stafford.
Empty backfield, 2nd down and 12. Cutler's pass is caught by Bennett. Has a first down. Earl Bennett to the Panthers' 44-yard line. And that is the biggest play for the Bears on offense today, 24 yards.
That's good play design right there. You see Jay Cutler, let's get into an up-tempo style right now and get up to the line of scrimmage. But they send one of the big tight ends down the seam and bring Earl Bennett underneath, and they dropped him in coverage.
Nice job also by Brandon Marshall with the block downfield to release Bennett, get him a couple extra yards after the catch.
From the 44. Cutler fires. It's Bennett again. Cutler and Bennett, teammates at Vanderbilt. And here in Chicago, 2 straight completions to Bennett. The last one for 11 yards. Bears on the move. Trailing by 12. 4th quarter after these messages. Bears scored first. 19 straight points for Carolina. As we begin the 4th quarter. Panthers leading 19-7. 1st and 10 for Chicago from the Carolina 33. Play action. Cutler with time. Throws and the pass is caught for another. Bears first down is Brandon Marshall, gain of 13.
Cutler, completely different quarterback when he gets time back in that pocket, Darryl.
And he's had the opportunity to throw on time. Big play action right here. Again, it's a single route. Brandon Marshall's the only guy out of the route, Tony.
Yeah, they got max protection in there. If that's what it takes, keep running one-man routes, I guess.
Cutler 3 for 3 on this drive. At Forte. Down to the 19, gain of just 1.
The big thing, because they've had so many 3 and outs, Tony, they haven't been able to get in any type of rhythm.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that was the thing you saw on this drive. You saw Jay Cutler at the start of it. Let's go, let's get moving. And because they haven't been able to convert on 3rd down, they just haven't been able to establish that.
You can feel it down here on the field.
Cutler on 2nd and 9, swings it out to Forte, but Thomas Davis is right there to make the tackle, and Forte loses 3 yards.
Wow, this is a good play by Thomas Davis. That's Matt Forte out in space. Great inside-out pursuit angle.
Movement prior to the snap on 3rd down. It's a false start.
False start offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
Center Roberto Garza.
You don't see that very often. Roberto Garza just gets back on his heels, ready to snap the ball, but looks like Cutler didn't call for it right at that point. Want to snap it early where he could go and get maybe a turnover, and Cutler wasn't ready for it, so he held on to it a little bit. They had a little bit more yardage, 3rd and 17.
Bears have not been successful on 3rd down today. Cutler to Forte. Let's get to the 10 for a 1st down. He's tackled at the 15. Here comes Robbie Gould down the Bears field goal unit.
I agree with this. Get some points out of this. Get something positive for the first time since early in the 1st quarter.
Normally, if your defense is playing a little bit better, maybe you take a shot here. But Carolina's offense has been backed up, and Chicago's defense hasn't been able to capitalize on it.
That's their first.
Carolina had 12 men on the field, forced to use a timeout.
That's a good job by Luke Kuechly, and here's a young guy who's kind of taken over his leadership. He got that all sorted out, got that timeout call before a penalty.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by McDonald's. I'm loving it. By Chevrolet, from kickoff to the last yard, Chevy runs deep. And by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach for the game this football season.
Here's Robbie Gould out to attempt a 33-yard field goal following the Carolina timeout. And Gould's kick is wide to the right. It is no good.
It looks like he played the wind, but the wind did not carry the ball from right to left. I talked to Robbie Gould before, during warm-ups. Said a lot of kickers are scared to go and play the wind. Looks like he played it, but the flags at the top of the pole were just straight down. You see him right there. I think it was a short enough kick where you didn't have to play the wind. Just put it right through the uprights.
Special teams coach Brian Murphy celebrates. Only the 2nd miss by Gould this season. Signal from Josh Norman, in case anybody was wondering. So it remains a 12-point Carolina lead. Start from their own 23 as Newton swings it out to Brandon LaFell. Back on the field, took the helmet-to-helmet in earlier, and LaFell gains 8.
Yeah, good to see Brandon LaFell back on the field. Had that big play early in the game.
With that completion, Cam Newton over 300 yards. 2nd time this season, 5th time in his career. On 2nd and 2, it's Stewart. Wrapped up by Melton. Looks Looks to be just short. 3rd down and 1 upcoming for Carolina.
We talked about at the top the different offensive line combinations for the Carolina Panthers. This is their 5th one in 7 games this season. They've gone ahead and they've kicked Byron Bell back out to tackle, brought Jeff Byers in at right guard, and you know, we got to kind of pay that off. And they have played well against a tough front 7 of the Chicago Bears. Hasn't been pretty at times, but they've been staying on these guys and pushing that pile.
They need a big push here on 3rd down and 1. It is Tolbert, and he looks to be just short.
Thought he was going to spin and get that 1st down, and then Lance Briggs came in and wrapped him up. I don't know where the spot's going to take him to, though. You guys got a better angle than I do.
I think he's going to end up being a little bit short.
Is he?
Our yellow line unofficial.
There's Lance Briggs coming in, stopping him from falling forward. That's a huge play right there. Like you know, Darryl, that fullback is a big man right there.
He is a big dude. That's a great job by the Bears defense right there. I mean, with that missed field goal attempt by Chicago, it still stays a 2-possession game for them to take the lead, but it was a touchdown field goal that would have done it. Now it's touchdown. So that Bear defense needed to get that Carolina Panther offense off the field.
So they're worried about kicking a Hester on kickoff, but now you have to kick to him and punt. See where he puts this ball. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to kick it out of bounds.
How about this, guys? First time Carolina has gone 3 and out today.
That's impressive against that Bears defense.
Hester 2 punt returns today, 11 and 0. Wow. Obviously will not have a chance on this one.
Oh, man.
Nortman would love that kickback. So the Bears, as has been the case throughout this game, with terrific field position. 12-point lead for Carolina. Officially a 6-yard punt.
I'll tell you what, this gives the Chicago Bears a little bit of momentum. Let's see if Cutler can go get things rolling, get back on the line of scrimmage, and keep the tempo rolling.
Off the side of the foot, high, wind catches it, knocks it down.
From the Carolina 38, after the Bears defense forced a 3 and out. Cutler set, pump fake, throws, and it's a bit short off the hand of Marshall.
All day long today on the kickoffs, we have seen the squib attempt, and the Bears have ended up with great starting field position again here on this drive too, with the bad punt, but they haven't been able to take advantage of that. Look at all the missed opportunities with the field position.
Timeout, Carolina. That's their 2nd.
So the Panthers with only 1 timeout remaining. Just over 10 minutes to play. Back to Chicago. For the Bears, only 117 yards of total offense today. They trail by 12. 2nd and 10 from the 38. Inside handoff to Forte. And Forte takes it down to the 35-yard line.
I'm hoping Mike Tice is committed to a 4-down possession right here, because on 3rd down, you know, you don't got to convert. You put yourself in a position where it's 4th and manageable. If you got a shot to get it, obviously take it. But I think the Bears are in 4-down territory right now on this drive. You saw the time of possession. Carolina has had control of the ball during the course of this game.
Normally it's the Bears who control the time of possession, 3rd best in the league. 3rd down and 8. Coverage pass caught by Marshall for Chicago, 1st down for the Carolina 25-yard line. And Marshall comes up limping.
That's a big loss in this situation right here. I mean, Brandon Marshall has been the one guy on the outside that's been making plays. Everybody goes vertical, and that leaves Brandon Marshall all alone down in that linebacker level.
First time the Bears have converted on 3rd down in this game. 9 minutes to go, fourth quarter.
Hey, single. Gang.
From the 25 on first down, it's Forte. Gain of 2.
Looks like Jay Cutler on that play opted to audible out of the play, go to a run.
Gain of 2, second and 23.
Brandon Marshall returns.
Take a look at the end of that play on the tackle. Prior to Brandon Marshall limping off the field. See Thomas Davis on the tackle, kind of gets on that heel.
Earl Bennett in motion, second down and 8. Cutler's pass is caught by Forte. For another Bears first down to the Panthers' 13-yard line.
Ball's coming out a lot faster than we saw in the first half there.
Yeah, I like that play design too. You've got Brandon Marshall who's been making all the plays on the outside. Use him as a decoy, especially since he's hobbling a little bit out there with that ankle.
Yeah, and you frustrate that defensive line a little bit.
Cutler's in a rhythm, 6 of his last 7. Michael Bush in the backfield. He takes the handoff from Cutler. And Bush brought down hard at the 12.
That's a heck of a tackle by Charles Godfrey because he's given up a lot of sides to Michael Bush. He comes down, and that's just a nice form tackle. Fits him up face to face. Watch number 30 come in, step into that hole to fill it. Well done, Charles Godfrey.
7 minutes remaining, second down and 8. Cutler, end zone, Helen Davis, touchdown!
He's one of the guys you have to be aware of. He's such a big guy that when you get down into the red zone, Kellen Davis has got to be one of the guys you want to worry about. One thing you have to do, challenge him on the release and not let him come off the line of scrimmage so clean.
I'll tell you what, Jay Cutler, when he sees Davis open, he drills that ball at him. Almost lost it right there. It was going at him so fast.
He's a huge target. Career receptions for Davis, 11 have gone for touchdowns. 5-point game in Chicago.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. From kickoff to the last yard, Chevy runs deep.
5-point game in Chicago. Jay Cutler hitting Kellen Davis in the end zone following that 6-yard punt. Bears take advantage of the short field.
Finally.
No chance for Polaris. So the Panthers, with 6:52 remaining, will try and preserve this lead following the Bears score.
Well, they found themselves in this position quite a few times this season. Ron Rivera said we've got to find a way to close out this type of game. It's something they've struggled with. Cam Newton 1-4 this season in one-possession games. And here we are again. What are they going to do here?
Fans on their feet here in Chicago as Newton's pass is picked off by Jennings, and Tim Jennings takes it all the way for a Bears touchdown.
It took them all the way to the fourth quarter, Darryl. But once again, the defense shows up. Look at this break on the ball. Boom. Eyes on the ball. Jennings does an incredible job of not only catching it, but finding the end zone.
Steve Smith's running a speed cut out.
Slides, yep.
Yeah, loses his footing on the break. It's a timing route. That ball is coming out on time, so when Steve Smith goes down, all Tim Jennings has to do is clean up that mess, take it to the end zone for 6.
Lovie Smith says our defense is an offense. Our number one goal on defense is to score. And they have now done it 6 times in 7 games this season.
It's unbelievable.
Wow.
I mean, they talk about it. It's one of the things that they want to do. And, you know, you can talk about it as much as you want, but 6 defensive touchdowns this season. And now Chicago is bringing their offense back out onto the field.
With a 1-point lead, Bears will go for 2. Newton can't believe it. 6th time the Bears have returned an interception for a touchdown this season. They celebrate right around Cam Newton. For the first time since the first quarter, the Bears have the lead. Despite getting dominated statistically throughout today's game. Going for the 2-point conversion. This cannot be brought back. This cannot be brought back. Officials blowing the play dead.
Well, it's fun to watch.
Josh Norman, the rookie, not aware of the rules. Bears with a 1-point lead. They celebrate in Chicago. The Chicago Bears now with 6 touchdowns on interception returns this season. That is a franchise record, and this is only game number 7 against both Dallas and Jacksonville. Briggs and Tillman scored touchdowns. Teammates doing it in back-to-back games for the first time. Chicago with a 1-point lead. Bears score 13 points, Darryl, in an 8-second span.
Well, Cam Newton has got to flush that right now. He's got to come out here because we still are a 1-possession game. And he's got to forget about what happened on that last play. Steve Smith went to make a cut. He fell down. He threw the pass on time and got returned for a touchdown. What are you going to do now? We talked about his leadership at the top and the responsibility that comes with it. This is an opportunity for him today to step forward and show everybody that he's the leader of this offense and he can bounce back from a bad play.
A 12-point Carolina lead has turned into a 1-point deficit very quickly as D'Angelo Williams is tripped up, gains just 1. We've talked about the close games the Panthers have been involved in this season. They led Atlanta late. Falcons drove 99 yards. Carolina led Dallas in the 4th quarter last week. Lost the game by 5. They had a 12-point lead in this one. Second down and 9. Newton out of the shotgun. Newton throws, and that pass is high, intended for Smith. And there's a flag as Newton was hit late by Henry Melton.
Yeah, he stood in there, took the shot. It was after he threw the ball.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 71. Low hit on the quarterback. 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Watch Israel Adonijah. There he is, coming off the left side.
Adonijah low and Melton high.
That's tough. As a defensive end, sometimes, you know, you got that tackle on your inside shoulder, you're leaning, and you fall forward, and you can't go low on the quarterback. I understand that, you know?
Yeah, and they're going to make you responsible for your body in that situation, Tony, because you're right. He's trying to get a low turn on that corner.
From the 35. Newton being chased, moving to his right. Pass is caught by the tight end, Gary Barnidge. his first reception of the season. And Barnage able to gain 7.
And we'll see if that instills some confidence in Rob Chudzinski with Ben Hartsock and Gary Barnage making some plays today, you know, to keep expanding this 2 tight end package. It was very successful for them last year when they had Jeremy Shockey. We've seen a couple of good plays out of it this afternoon. They've been on the field a lot, but now starting to make some catches.
Keep in mind that unsuccessful 2-point conversion attempt by the Bears, it's only a 1-point game. So a field goal would give Carolina the lead. On 2nd and 3, this is Stewart. Jonathan Stewart close to a first down.
No, it's just a great tackle by the Chicago Bears right there. Jonathan Stewart makes a good cut. He's got his shoulders square and everything. And I didn't see who it was, but a great tackle. Just stood him up short of that first down marker.
Here comes Mike Tolbert, fullback. Wouldn't be surprised if they gave him the ball, Darryl. Big man, drives his legs, low center of gravity. If I was on that defensive line for the Chicago Bears, that's the guy I'd be looking at.
Instead, it's Newton on 3rd and 1, and Cam Newton has a first down and more. Newton takes it inside the 40 to the 39. 16 yards on the ground for Newton.
This is a good play call for Carolina in this situation. I want to show you Mike Tolbert. Look at it. He's in a 4-point stance, the fullback in front of Jonathan Stewart. He's so heavy on his hands. You're thinking downhill run.
Everybody is, yeah.
Yeah, that whole Bear defense ran to the right side, and there was nobody out there when Cam pulled it away. Just a little technical thing by Mike Tolbert in that situation to really kind of bait that Bears defense into running hard.
So the Panthers inching closer to field goal range. Under 5 minutes to play. This is D'Angelo Williams up the middle, and Williams takes it all the way down to the 31. Time for a game break to Los Angeles and Patrick O'Neill.
Hey, Kenny, thanks. You guys got a good one there. And coming up next, a great matchup, America's Game of the Week. It's going to be the Giants and the Cowboys. And Kenny, Darryl, back to you.
All right, Patrick, we look forward to it. D'Angelo Williams, Ronald Dutt, Lance Briggs, Israel Adonijah, Nick Roach, loss of a yard. So the line of scrimmage, the 42. If the Panthers don't gain a yard on this play, it will be a 50-yard attempt.
And we saw them bypass a 51-yard attempt at the end of the half.
Third down and 3 for Carolina, trailing by a point. Here's Tolbert. And Tolbert with the push. Looks to have a Panthers first down.
Looks like he was stopped there, Darryl, and then he kept just driving. Gets across the first down marker right there. You see the yellow line. Look at this. Stopped right there, just keeps moving, pile. He moved that whole pile forward.
So a new set of downs for Carolina. Trailing by a point. They led by 12 earlier this quarter. Exactly 3 minutes remaining here in Chicago. Bears put up 13 points in 8 seconds to take the lead. Jonathan Stewart. And now a timeout is taken by the Bears with 2:40 on the clock.
Got to conserve some time.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to commend Carolina on what they've done here and the way they've controlled the ball. It's been impressive. We've got a 16-play drive, we've got a 12-play drive, and that's what you have to be able to do when you play the Chicago Bears. This defense is tough. They make you earn everything you get, and when you come in, you've got to have that mindset about execution and not forcing it. You know, hats off. I mean, with everything on the line right here, Carolina is, again, putting together a heck of a drive.
The Carolina Panthers, who have lost 4 consecutive games, last place in the NFC South. Panthers had a 19-7 lead earlier in this fourth quarter. Now trail by 1. Each team with 1 timeout remaining. Second and 8 from the Bears 27. Newton for Smith. And Steve Smith unable to hang on.
Oh, after all the plays that he has made today, the biggest play he has the opportunity to make, he can't finish it. That tight window between corner and safety in this defense, he's got the one hand out extended, almost pulls it in. Great effort by Steve Smith.
Third down and 8. Newton under pressure, throws it away. Smart play. Did not want to get sacked by Melton and lose yardage.
Nice little game up on the front on the line of scrimmage with the defensive line. But they ran a 3-man game here. Great job of coming back outside. Right there by Henry Melton. And keeping the pressure on Cam Newton. Not easy for the big guys there in the middle.
So here is Justin Medlock. He is 4 for 4 today. About to attempt a 45-yard field goal. Medlock's kick off the right upright and good. He gets the bounce off the upright. Medlock 5 for 5, and the Panthers have regained the lead with 2:27 remaining.
Wow.
Played the wind too. He went right towards that left upright, and that ball came all the way across.
But how about being just mentally prepared and mentally tough on a day you've had 2 field goal attempts all season long, and you go 5 for 5 today. Great day, great job by Justin Medlock.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Darryl, you know, there's a lot of time left on the clock. You got the 2-minute warning. You still have a timeout. Jay Cutler, see what he could do offensively.
Well,
that defense put him in a position to go and win the game right here. See what he can get done.
Well, I'm interested to see what they do with the kickoff. I mean, that's the big thing for me. And let's go back and see what happened earlier in this fourth quarter. I mean, Carolina's been in control of the game the whole time. Nice catch there on the throw to Kellen Davis, and then the first play of the next possession for the Carolina Panthers, Steve Smith slips on the route. Tim Jennings is right there to clean it up and take it back, but again, you know, what are we going to do on this kickoff? They have given Chicago such good field position all afternoon with this squib-style kick.
Well, you know what? If they're kicking this way, the wind is in his face, kicking in this direction, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to squib it again. Devin Hester's back here right in front of me, in the middle of the end zone, but
he's had so much trouble with it on the tee because he's getting it upright for the squib. It's also one of the telltale signs that he's doing the same type of kick. Kick it deep, let your coverage team go down and make a tackle and try and get some decent field position.
Once again, rolls off the tee.
Where's Mutterlin? He knows he's got to hold that ball. There it is, Darryl, straight up and down. Look at that. Boom.
No, Medlock positioning Josh Norman. We welcome those of you who have just joined us here in Chicago. What a fourth quarter. As the Chicago Bears now trail by 2, yet another squib kick. It is Armando Allen on the return. Panthers have kept the ball away from Devin Hester all afternoon long. Panthers led by 12 in this fourth quarter. Bears scored 2 touchdowns in 8 seconds. One on offense, the other on defense. Panthers have kicked a go-ahead field goal. So here's Cutler, 2:20 remaining. 1 timeout plus the 2-minute warning. Bears start from their own 22. Cutler on first down over the top. The Forte, he's wrestled down by Kuechly after a gain of 5.
And one of the big things that's happened during the course of our game today has been the play of Carolina's front four. They have been all over Jay Cutler and have dominated the line of scrimmage.
Cutler on the slant to Marshall on second down. Picks up a first down as we hit the 2-minute warning. Some of our audience will be heading to the studio. Others will be back to Chicago after this. What a fourth quarter in Chicago. Jay Cutler sacked 6 times in the first half, 3 turnovers. Bears charge back to take the lead, now down by 2. Pass is caught out at the 45-yard line. As the clock continues to run, as Bennett is forced back, picked up 12 for a Bears first down. About 20, 22 yards from field goal range. Here's Marshall. Kuechly wraps him up at the Carolina 46.
They must be giving him a lot of room on the outside. They just keep going back to the same play over and over again.
One timeout.
Hug up a little bit better.
Excuse me, Goose. 1 timeout remaining for Chicago as we approach 1 minute on the clock. Cutler fires a bit high, intended for Earl Bennett. Our game summary with 1:04 remaining. Cutler sacked 6 times in the first half. Cam Newton has passed for over 300 yards. Bears returned yet another interception for a touchdown. That gave them the lead. And Justin Medlock of the Panthers, only 2 attempts prior to this game, 5 for 5 today as Bennett is replaced by Weems. 3rd down and 3. What a catch for a first down. Great catch by Brandon Marshall. Officials scurrying to spot the ball. From the Carolina 36. Now down to the 26. It's Marshall yet again.
They have just been in a rhythm, such a rhythm. You know, you mentioned what happened in the first half with the sacks and turnovers, Kenny, but the last 2 offensive possessions for Chicago, they have gotten into a rhythm, and Jake Cutler has played outstanding. He's 14 of 16 on the last 2 offensive series.
Well, welcome to those of you who have just joined us. Matt Forte takes the handoff from Cutler. With the Bears trailing by 2. Chicago will use their final timeout and send out Robbie Gould for a potential game-winning field goal. Early in this 4th quarter with the Bears down by 12, Gould wide right from 33 yards out.
Going the same direction they're going right now.
But the Bears came back. They scored 13 points in 8 seconds, including yet another defensive touchdown. Chicago 5-1. Carolina 1-5. This will be a 41-yard attempt for Robbie Gould. Now the Panthers trying to get set, shuffling personnel in and off the field. Adam Podlesh will place it down from the left hash from 41 yards away. This is for the win. Robbie Gould's kick is good.
That is a tough, tough loss for the Carolina Panthers. Controlled this game for 3 of the 4 quarters. But hats off to the Chicago Bears and their offense. Their offense with 2 great drives in the 4th quarter.
The Bears down by 12. Midway through the 4th. Now 6-1. Carolina drops to 1-6. For Darryl Johnston and Tony Siragusa, Kenny Albert saying so long. Time for the Motorola Game Break Show to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.